give me a little bit of your credits because I know nothing about you except what I watch, and I like it that way.
All right.
This is a real pod because I want to get to know you, and I want to really you explain it to the people. So, Big Brother, Kid Nation.
And then I really did Amazing Race. I did Amazing Race for multiple seasons. Naked and Afraid, Bering Sea Gold, Ice Cold Gold, Swamp People.
So you work with all the peeps.
I've done
everybody.
When it came to adventure reality programming, when it was like off the grid Alaska shows, anything with like miners, ER, not OR, and or like oil or all that stuff. I was sort of like the guy because I found when I originally came out to Hollywood, I wanted to be a sitcom writer, but that was 2005 and sitcoms were done. So all of a sudden it was like, so. But Must See TV had its day. Yeah,
but I mean, come on, Big Bang's after that.
Big Bang came after
there was more, but I know what you're saying.
But, it wasn't the Seinfeld friend mad about you. That was what I kind of grew up with. But when I came out, reality was the new cool thing. And all of a sudden it's like, I could travel, I could be on location, I could do cool shit and be in the jungle. And, okay, I'm kind of going with this. And then I just kind of wrote it for about 20 years, and now we're in a much different era. So you're legit. You have legit. Well, I'm saying that because a lot of people talk shit, and it's like you have all the credits. What unions are you in? Well, Unscripted is non-union.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know if you were WGA.
And then if you're a producer, you're even worse off because you're on salary. I think during the 07-08 strike, they tried to make reality producers writers. But that was when the studios were like, that's the red line. We're not crossing that one.
But you live in the Yay.
I live in the Bay.
In the Yay.
Oh,
so
okay. Living in the Yay is like Sunset Strip.
But where?
San Jose.
Okay, so I know exactly. I've had a lot of good times there.
Yeah.
Well, there's a good improv there. But that's dystopia right now. There's no one on the streets.
What in San Francisco? San Jose is beautiful.
Yes, but there's not a lot of things open late.
Oh no, it's a sleepy town.
Yes.
And it was a big adjustment moving from LA when you're just like, I like my 24-hour pharmacy. I got to get my, Xanax, whatnot, and then you go up there and it's like, no, pharmacy closes at 8, and it took an adjustment to slow down life, but now I'm much more appreciative of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how old are you? 37?
Thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere. I'm 43.
43. All right. So why I'm so fascinated is because you go on. Why did you start making these TikToks?
Well, it was originally on TikTok because I did unscripted TV. And what I always thought was interesting is you could go to film school, you could get writing classes, you could get acting classes. There is absolutely nothing that teaches you about unscripted TV. It's like it's a secret society, and you can't talk about Fight Club, but until you're in Fight Club.
Yeah. But
I was like, you know what? It is television. It's a form of television. No one's talking about this. Everybody's afraid of their NDAs, and that's something we'll get into. And I was like, you know what? This is a learning experience. I would want to know about my craft and document it, and just talking about how we structure shows, really just sort of basic logistical stuff. And so I actually grew a following of people who were interested in reality TV and how certain shows got made. But about spring of 2023, I wrapped my last show.
Which was
called Fight to Survive. It was on CW and Roku. And typically when you wrap a show, you're tired. You need like a month off. You've just had your nose to the grindstone, so you just need to veg for a little bit. And now we're coming around April. Now there's this talk about the WGA going into a strike again. And all of the unscripted community was like, this could be good. This could be another boom like we had in 07-08 when the writers struck and we had this major upswing in reality production. So we just kind of were biding our time. And it's not that we don't support the writers. We love the WGA, and we advocate and hope that our brothers and sisters get what they're fighting for, because we only wish that we could get something like that. We're kind of the lowest caste system of the entertainment industry.
And making some of the biggest waves.
Right.
100% true, though.
Exactly. You know,
you have no unions.
No unions. No
hours
protection.
can be long. Drives can be long.
Yep.
I mean, trust me, I'm in all of it. So yeah, it's true.
So we you know we get you know our motor oil needs changing every now and then, but as the strikes happened, all of a sudden the opposite happened. It's like no shows are getting greenlit. We're like, this is weird. Oh, maybe it's because the actors strike. They're just kind of waiting to see what the actors are gonna. The actors, they strike. Still nothing. And the thing about our industry is like you don't want to talk about your situation to anybody else. You don't want to go to your fellow producer and be like, hey man, are you working? Because I'm not working. Because the minute you admit that you're not working, you kind of almost become undesirable in Hollywood.
Sad.
Right? It's like, oh, you know, and it's like and we're in this kind of game and it's where we're pitted against each other where you know, one person trips and fumbles, that's supposed to be somebody else's opportunity.
It's hopefully different now, but just to comment on that, it's like why I won't go to the Golden Globes, like after party, unless I have something kind of out. Mm-hmm. Because if not, they're like, what are you up to? And
right.
Like, you know, just what you've done is not enough.
Right.
You know, you have to have something recent.
And it's within months of your last project. It's like you could win the Oscar, but 3 months later, it's like, well, what are you doing now? I just won an Oscar.
Bro, how about this? You get on a set and they go, what are you doing after this? They always say, what's your next job? I just started. Exactly. This one.
Exactly. Talk to my assistant. They have that answer.
So you start talking. I have so much to ask you.
Oh yeah. So here we'll keep up with the chronology.
Yeah, I want to stay with this because then I have a comment.
All right,
but I don't want to interrupt.
No worries. We're doing it. We're on your time.
You're gonna be on many. You're gonna be on many pods. I can't believe this is only your fourth one.
This is my fourth. Who
is this? Your biggest one?
I did
by far.
Yes, by far. I did Heather McDonald.
Whoa, HMD.
I was on the Juicy Scoop
talking this stuff?
Yeah.
Or really?
No, talking this stuff.
Wow, Heather, you beat me to the punch.
She did. Wow. She did. She was the first one to reach out.
She's an early pioneer.
She is awesome.
Of reality.
She is awesome. We had a great conversation too.
So go ahead.
All right. So no one's talking. And then finally, so you start internalizing it. You're like, is it me? Did I piss somebody off? Nobody's calling me anymore. Oh my gosh. And we are so tied to our careers in this industry. You almost kind of make it about yourself. You're like
almost.
It is my identity.
Almost.
Right. So what I realized was I started going through the grieving process unbeknownst. I didn't know it, but I was entering the stage of depression, followed by anger. And it wasn't until I started talking to other executive producers, we have our own network, and then the little kind of seeds started dropping of, have you found work? You know, and this is now coming from people that are my mentors, the people that I look up to find work. And it's like, why are you having trouble finding work? And then the conversation started getting more real. And one very dear friend of mine finally, the dam burst, and she was just like, I'm doing DoorDash. I'm selling my grandmother's jewelry to make ends meet. And just as an executive.
Hold that thought, because I get to jump in. What is your job in reality mostly?
I'm an executive producer.
You're an EP?
Yes.
So those shows you were EPing?
I wasn't EPing those shows. I worked my way up from production assistant.
What was the last show you EP'd, the one you just did?
Yeah, Fight to Survive.
Okay. So for everyone listening, that's basically, I've been an EP on multiple shows, but basically I have the idea with somebody else, or I pay them money, they develop it, and I get my name on it, and I walk away. Unless it's something like the Jamie Kennedy Experiment, which was my baby.
Right.
But that's the top line of the show.
Right.
So this is the boss of the boss.
Showrunner. Well,
yes.
Not the boss of the boss. I'm the boss's underboss. I'm the showrunner. I'm doing all the stuff the boss doesn't want to do.
Yes.
But I still boss
But
up.
you still have a credit that's a top line credit.
Exactly.
So the person, and so the person doing DoorDash, was that also an EP?
That was an EP. Wow. EIC, executive in charge, sort of like the top of the line for, and her husband, why they were in such dire straits, her husband was an audio supervisor. So they were both in the industry. And those are the people that, couples that are both working behind the camera, and they have no income.
I have to say one thing, just to don't let me forget this, because
Sure.
you have these ideas. I don't want to cut you off. Is that why this is so important? Is because someone like me, I can work. I might do a movie, or I might do a TV show, or do reality, or whatever.
Yeah.
I have multiple avenues. Okay, but I'm an on-camera thing. Okay. What you do and what your friend does and her husband are the nuts and bolts of the business, meaning it's much easier for you to go to job to job to job to job to job than it is someone like me, because I can lose favor, or executives go, I don't like that guy as much right now, or whatever. But the working class, literally, you are the nuts and bolts of the business. And like someone like is a super example of this is a guy by the name of Jon Stewart, not the on camera. He's the stage manager. He was the stage manager of my show. I get goosebumps, and his daughter is Kristen Stewart.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Jon Stewart
All
is
right.
a legend in the TV business, but he was stage managed every show in Hollywood, and his daughter became a superstar. But so this is why I'm getting goosebumps, because it's like a craft service person. Not I'm saying that, but like a person that you can go from job, you can work 300 days a year. So go ahead.
So, and it's exactly as you said. So before March 2023, the longest I ever went between a gig was 2 months. After
18 years.
18 years?
You came in 2005.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So in 18 years, yes, 2 months. When my project ended in March 2023, it would be 1 year and 3 months until I got my next unscripted gig. My next unscripted gig came with a 40% deduction in pay. It was 10 weeks and maybe 2 levels of demotion.
What was your title?
Supervising producer, a job I did 10 years ago in 2014.
Because of contraction.
And I spoke to a couple agents, unscripted agents, and they're like, I have showrunners that are being story producers. And if you know we're a story producer, they're the ones just typing the reality that's going on.
Yes.
He goes, right now, it is so desperate that there are executive producers that are doing jobs that are literally like so far beneath them. It's incredible.
Literally do story for everyone listening. Story producers are basically someone who takes the minutes.
Yeah,
if you want to say that.
Basically, you are, if you're going from SVP to manager.
Wow.
If you want to break it down corporately.
Okay, I have a lot to ask you. So you're still wearing boat shoes, bro, like you're living your best life.
You know what? I got to break away for this. My mom, my whole family's from New York, and they always say my mom's rule was always be ready to go on a yacht. You never know when you're going to go on a yacht.
Smart. So I had a meeting about 8 months ago with an absolute killer of a reality agent, and we went into, I'll just say it, we went into Warner Brothers.
Okay.
And dude, I went into gate 7, I say off Barham. I mean, I didn't see life until 4 or 5 blocks in.
Yeah.
And I went in the building, and there was like the third secretary in would get the door. The front greeting desk was literally like abandoned. Like it was wild.
I was at Radford 3 weeks ago, and you could have seen tumbleweeds blowing through the place. And when I last worked there, because that's where the Big Brother house is, at Stage 18, and it was like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. There was like the showgirls and the people walking back with the glass. Like there was action like you always see a typical movie studio, and there was not a soul on the street.